Hello everyone, so this is Dr. Swapna. Today, let us discuss about virtual organization and how it is integrated to HR. A virtual organization is one whose employees are spread geographically and communicate via phones, emails, and the internet. So the concept explores technology and even issues surrounding virtual organizations from a knowledge management perspective. To define this virtual knowledge, so the virtual knowledge is a flexible network of independent entities linked by telecommunication and computing technologies to share skills, knowledge, and access to expertise in non-traditional ways. So it is a form of cooperating involving companies, institutions, and or even the individuals delivering a product or service on the basis of common business understandings. So here, units participate in the collaboration and present themselves as a unified organization. So this organization is a new form of organization that emerged in 1990. It also known as the network organization, modular organization, or digital organization. Simply stated, a virtual organization is a network of corporations made possible by what is stated known as information and communication technology, which is most commonly known as ICT, which is flexible and is created to meet the dynamics of the market. In other words, the virtual organization is a social network in which all the horizontal and vertical boundaries are remote. To name few companies which have actually adopted the virtual organization are Nike, Reebok, Puma, Dell Computers, Hindustan Lever, and so on. Thus, a virtual organization is loose web of individuals, capital, and technologies which operate without time and space constraints. It operates without a fixed structure and its boundaries keep on changing. So here are few differences of virtual organization and traditional organization. So the existence of small partners contributing only with the essential competencies but having to display an enhanced flexibility and speed of reaction. Relationship established between partners in virtual organization are less formal and are maintained as long as they explore a certain opportunity. And the third one says replacing the traditional pyramidal hierarchy in the traditional organization with the flat horizontal hierarchical organization. So the difficulty in achieving a unitary organogram because the several organization structures for the virtual organizations. Then the next one is team working, collaboration or cooperation is the key for the organization's elements. The emphasis is laid on the creativity and the innovation capacity of all the involved partners. So, however, every organization requires a team to carry out its activities in an orderly manner. In a virtual organization, the driving force is the virtual team. In a virtual team, members interact primarily through some combination of electronic communication system to tie up with dispersed members who never or rarely come face to face. Here, members communicate online using links like emails, video conferences, and WAN as wide area network. However, the need for virtual teams is increasing, particularly in global organizations. But virtual teams cannot work successfully without personalized trust relationships. Such relationships are normally established through face-to-face interactions and socialization. Information and communication technologies appear to be inadequate or establishing personalized trust relationships due to the absence of face-to-face interactions. So here are some of the advantages and disadvantages of virtual organization. You can just pause the video and take down the advantages of virtual organization. And to name a few, organizations can reduce the cost by having a virtual organization since it saves time and travel expenses. Virtual organizations can increase productivity for those who like to work at home or in a silent place. Virtual organization allows firms to redesign jobs to make employees more effective and efficient. However, to add upon these, I would like to put light on some of the additional advantages, like it provides access to outside experts without downtime and travel or logging expenses. Then the ability to organize in terms even if members are not in reasonable proximity to each other. And the firms can expand their potential labor markets. They can hire and retain the best people irrespective of their physical locations. Employees can accommodate both personal and professional lives, and they can concentrate on work-life balance. Employees can be assigned to multiple concurrent teams. Dynamic team membership allows people to move from one project to another. Team communication and work reports are available online and to facilitate swift responses to the demands of the global market. Then virtual teams are able to work even when they are miles apart, and people who never get a chance to meet each other face to face can also work in virtual teams. To look upon some of the disadvantages. So, nevertheless, it is hard for employees and employer to work and understand about each other in a virtual organization, which could create a complex corporate culture workplace. So managers are hard to measure the performance and commitment of their employees as they work at their own places rather in the traditional office, which managers could see their works every day. So additional to these disadvantages, I would like to put upon some of the other disadvantages, like as I said, there is always a lack of physical interaction and the lack of synergies arising from face-to-face interaction. So non-availability of verbal and non-verbal cues such as voice, eye movement, facial expressions and body language, which makes communication very effective. Next, let us look upon the types of virtual organizations. So according to the degree of virtuality, there are three types of virtual organizations. To start with, telecommuters, outsourcing employees, and completely virtual. In telecommunicating companies, employees work from their homes. They interact with the workplace via personal computers connected with the modem to the phone line. So to list few examples of telecommuters are Xerox, Coherent Technologies, Dow Chemicals, and so on. Looking into outsourcing employees, these organizations outsource most or all core competencies like marketing and sales, human resource, finance, research and development, engineering, manufacturing, information systems, etc. are the areas of outsourcing. So such a virtual organization performs one or two areas of core competence with excellence, and other functions are outsourced. For instance, Nike does product designing and marketing very well, does product design and marketing very well, and depends on outsources for information technology as a means for maintaining inter-organizational coordination. Next, moving upon completely virtual. This type of virtual organization is tightly linked to the large network of suppliers, distributors, retailers, and customers, as well as the strategic and joint venture partners. IBM's development effort of the PC and Atlanta Committee for the Olympic Games in 1996 are examples of completely virtual organizations. The effectiveness of a virtual organization can be enhanced through these following aspects like knowledge sharing, well-defined processes, shared understandings, depth relationships, and the trust between the employees and the employers. In order to make the learning experience more effective and efficient, I request all the viewers to take a small break and then come back and continue with the next aspects or the next session, wherein we'll be discussing about some of the aspects on technology and communication in virtual organizations. Then the HR issues in virtual organization. Then as well, we'll be also discussing a little bit of design of virtual organization and so on. So please take a break and then let us continue with the next session on. I hope you all have come out with a fresh mind, having a cup of coffee or tea, or just a small break also would always refreshen your mind. And so now let us move to the next slide, which speaks about technology and communication in virtual organization. So according to Fong, it's called an e-collaboration. So where companies consider e-collaboration as a way to create value in the organization. Renault depicts multiple ways of collaboration between working employees in distributed systems. These mechanisms are considered as a single element of the distributed systems, wherein with attributes like communication, coordination, and cooperation. However, employees in a virtual organization will become emasculate and ineffective in the absence of information and knowledge. Therefore, virtual organization use a seamless of web electronic communication medias. The main components of this web are technology, email, office systems, voicemail alerts, and the mobile data. So the technology is the traditional ways of working has been transformed through new technology, and so very technology always play an major impact on all the aspects, like it can be communication or coordination or cooperation. Technology plays a major role in order to adopt to this virtual organization system. So the whole organization can take advantage of SMS products such as Expressway by integrating SMS into the existing email infrastructure. So through email they can send any form of SMS. Next, SMS technology can greatly enhance the existing or the new office system. So for example, phone messages can be sent via SMS rather than returning it to a message box and so on. So office system plays a vital role in this. So next, moving upon is mobile data. Okay, I missed upon this voicemail alert. So addition of SMS technology to the existing voicemail system builds an effective method of receiving voicemail alerts and etc. So the mobile data enables a laptop to receive information anywhere through the mobile phone network. So in the past, corporate information has been inaccessible from many places where it is needed. So one can keep connected to his or her virtual organization from anywhere by linking laptop to mobile phones. So mobile data communications can revolutionize where and how work is done. So moving upon to the next aspect, that is the managing HR in virtual organizations. So it's very important to understand the human resource issues in virtual organization in order to manage HR in the virtual organization. So starting with recruitment, development and socialization processes are designed to ensure right person for right job and at the right time. So these processes also regulate and control the antecedent condition as of job performance. A virtual organization is staffed by knowledge workers who are brought together for under short-term market relationships. These highly proficient employees are left to do their own things in order to provide world-class products and services. Jobs in virtual organizations are knowledge-based, and such jobs are assumed to require greater skills, have greater varieties, and offer better quality of work life. Virtual organization has both positive and negative implications for human resources. Positive implications include greater job autonomy and more financial stability due to reducing commuting or lunches and clothing costs. In addition, there are a perceived increase in performance, then reduced job stress and better social relationships owing to a dissolution of barriers between the home and the work interface. Negative implications consist of longer working hours, then increased work demands, then poor physical working conditions, then less social support from the work and the work environment, then poor social position skills are required to share and assimilate information easily for quick decision making, and all these are some of the major difficulties that they are facing. So the main human resource issue in a virtual organization are like recruitment is conducted under time pressure and requires high performance expectations. Then both human capital like knowing one's job and social capital becomes inextricably linked, and so social relationships do not require much stability, and workplace is variable because there is a high need for readiness to be mobilized at any moment, and there are values of idleness and shown in terms of learning by watching what others do, and master apprentice relationships and craft based learning becomes significant. Then job status and project feedback in short term, and so therefore virtual organization require a heavy investment to create systems and staffing structure. However, this employee selection and performance management are the two critical human resource problem in virtual organizations. So people who are to work in a virtual organization requires self-guided and self-motivation, then familiarity and comfortability with the job, then effective communication skills, both oral and written, then adaptability for the new technology, then technical sufficiency, then there should be result orientation and so on. So performance management is the most difficult problem in virtual organization because it requires daily attention on three principles due to physical separation of workers and managers. So these three are defining performance goal of each member or team clearly, then facilitate performance by eliminating all obstacles and providing necessary resources, and the last one is that the encouragement performance by providing motivating rewards and so on. So to conclude, human resource management in virtual organization requires shift from person job fit to the person role fit. So this would be our last concept for today's session. Here we speak about virtual organizations, design with formalization, specialization, centralization, and professionalism, and so on. So starting with formalization, coordination of internal process requires a high level of trust among its members, so norms and values are used as a way to control. Whereas in specialization design, it is high and not in one task but in multiple tasks, like joint specialization. Here employees have to deal with whole projects in all its dimensions, and employees should be trained in entrepreneurship and self-management, and they should possess a wide range of skills. When we are speaking about centralization is low, then decisions should be made in collaboration of organizations network members. For this purpose, there could be made decision making meeting in which issues should be discussed. So the decision making authority have to be transformed to employees on a lower level in order to take advantages of being virtual and respond to customers' demands. Then moving upon to professionalism. Here the employees have to become their own managers. They should coordinate their own tasks and understand the other team task, and each one needs to have a knowledge in how all tasks can be performed. So management of virtual should be less administrative and more leadership oriented way as well. So thank you all for watching this video about the virtual organization and managing HR in virtual organization. So this is Dr. Swapna Reddy. Have a great day.